What's going on, everybody? My name's DanielM47 and welcome back to the channel for more quality Halo content. I've been thinking long and hard about the future of this channel, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to stick more closely to the Halo community like I used to, but I mean every now and then I might put up a video that isn't related to Halo or something, somewhat like Ready Up Live for those of you that know who they are. Sorry for that, but I just had to get that out there. So let's jump in right into the video. So guys, recently I was asked for some tips and strategies for Captain Cutter in Halo Wars 2. While I didn't have the game early, I did play a lot of the original and it gave me an idea for this video. But since the game came out to the public just last night, I thought it would be a good time to put out this video now. So let's get to the top UNSC tips and tricks for Halo Wars 2 that also carry over to and from the original. Alright, so at tip number 5, in order from least to the most important, in my opinion, is use Pelicans to drop troops every now and then. Now, granted, it is expensive, and I wouldn't recommend dropping them off in a hot zone or contested enemy area, but Pelicans can offer your tanks and vehicles units a bit more of extra range from your enemies if you need to drop off, say, a Kodiak or Scorpion, or even both, to just shell the enemy from a distance while your main army engages them head-on. Alright, so now on to tip number 4. This tip, I believe, is more important and probably should have been higher up on the list, but it is fairly obvious, so I saved some of the others that you may not have thought for the higher numbers. So the 4th tip is that when your army is outnumbered, or you know they're going to be destroyed, like say they're half health, or you just somehow know they're going to die, focus fire on the most strategic points possible. So this is, say, supply pads, energy collectors, and reactors for the original game players, but at least this will cost your enemy some money and buy you more time to build up a counter push and maybe even another bigger army. But it might even cripple their production, like say in the original game, if you destroyed their reactor, then that would take time and money to buy, because I know that was one of the main things that I always had problems with, was reactors, and that was really one of the more annoying things from the original game that I didn't really care for. But now the next one, I would say number 3, is you should consistently be moving your units, and I don't mean 100% of the time or anything like that, but this being said, unlike the normal FPS Halo games, the units aim and fire by themselves, so there is some kind of algorithm depicting how long it'll take for them to aim and fire, and sometimes they still miss. So this has nothing to do with the player. Granted, you still tell them what to shoot at, but they could still miss, and it has nothing to do with what you did. So this gives you some leeway time to get some more of your units' shots off if they're consistently moving. Granted, they're able to fire and shoot and run at the same time. So the best way to take down one of the Scarabs, however, is a little bit different. So I would recommend you move your units counterclockwise to keep it confused, but sometimes that doesn't even work, so I would just recommend surrounding it. If you're Cutter in specific, then you could drop off a little ring of ODSTs so they're all firing in a circle, and it'll take more time for it, once it kills one unit, to turn and kill another one, and so on and so forth. So that was just a little extra tip there. But anyways, so at number 2, we've got one of my personal favorites, and obviously some of the others too, because I've seen and wrote this myself. But so number 2, we've got, it's not really a UNSC exclusive per se, but you could do this with any leader. So the tip is to consistently send a cheap unit, say Warthog, Ghost, Chopper, or anything like that, to update the map and see what your enemies are up to, because you'd be surprised how many times this could help you get a leg up on your opponents when they're trying to rush you with any sort of specific units or just a big army in general. So now we've reached the end of the list, and while for number 1 I'd recommend having at least 2 bases. Now, before you click off the video and think that I'm a complete idiot and moron for saving this for number 1, just know that resources in this game and any other RTS game is key. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen inexperienced players try to rebuild structures or units in the base that I'm actively destroying. I'm sorry, but that is just a complete newbie move. Not only do they have less health when they're being built, but you're only wasting resources that you could be using at your other base that you were more prepared to build units at in case of an emergency. Trust me when I say this will help you out a ton in the future. So everybody, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Obviously, these were my own opinions, and there are no specific ways to win in Halo Wars or any RTS game for that matter. But these are some tips that might help you be a better player in general. So, like I said before, if you have any tips or tricks of your own though, then feel free to leave them down in the comment section below to help out your other war generals. Hope you all enjoyed my first video back into the Halo community. Be sure to subscribe for more quality Halo content to come, and I'll see you all in the next video, guys.
What do we do?
You hold on.
Wait, what?